actually frustrating.
Yeah, hi chat. We cannot make thing together work for some reason. I'm so sorry. Hi,
Never works.
Eccentric.
Every
It
single
never,
time. Oh my goodness.
never, bro. It's so bad. How
It
have you
hates us.
been,
It likes to see
guys?
us lose. That's the problem.
It really does. It really does.
It's just a hater. But
How
yeah,
have you guys been?
it's been how many weeks? It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back to our podcast with my co-host Mr. Cornelius Calgary.
Hello. It's
Hello.
me. Hello.
I was
And
wondering if you learned to me.
I think of the Adele song. But hi, I'm glad to hear that you're being good, Mechcentric. My model is breaking. Let me reset it real quick. There you go. Yeah. Welcome to the Snack Time Podcast, episode 10.
Yippee!
Yay! 10 episodes.
Yay! Hold on, hold on, hold on,
Yay!
hold on, hold on. It's gotta be in here
Mm-hmm.
somewhere.
I'm holding. I'm holding.
There we go. Yeah.
Yay! Clap, clap, clap,
Clap, clap,
clap.
clap, clap.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
So glad to see everybody here, including you, Macaron.
thank you. Glad to see you here as well. Always a pleasure to be
Hell
doing this
yeah.
with my co-host and friend.
Exactly, exactly. So, chat, I have a question for you all and for you also, Macaron. Do you
Mhm.
believe in the supernatural?
You know what's
It's
funny?
a very important question.
Ah! You know what's funny, right?
Mhm.
You start out with that, and my immediate response to this is he's got like some crazy story to lead up with this.
Oh, it's not
Like-
crazy. It's just a story.
okay,
It's just a
okay.
story.
Well, okay. Number one, don't really believe in the supernatural because, well, I've never really like seen it myself, but like
Uh-huh.
I will say the other day when I was at work, I did hear someone else sneezing in the cold room, and I thought it was my boss. And then I came
Uh-huh.
out and I was like, "Wait a second, I'm the only one in here." And then I go over to her desk, which is like a couple of steps away. I was like, "Did you sneeze?" She's like, "No." Huh?
Nor. Nor.
No. Well, I was like,
That's
"What? What the heck?"
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just her and I. It was really weird. But yeah, no. Anyways, continue on with your supernatural superstitions or whatever.
No, well, that's super. Well, okay. So I myself, I am what it's called a agnostic, which means is that I am not skeptic about it. I just don't believe it, not because I don't think it's real, but because I don't have the evidence.
Yeah.
So if I have an evidence, that proves otherwise, then yeah,
Mhm.
right. And I'm pretty sure I talked on the podcast before, but I do have sleep paralysis.
Oh my goodness, this is the
Have I
first
mentioned
time
it
you've
before?
no, you're this is the first time you've ever mentioned this to me. I did not know you had sleep
Oh,
paralysis.
I have sleep paralysis. But the thing about sleep paralysis is that usually people see things, right? In their sleep paralysis, like they see entities, they see creatures, and I don't do that. I don't see anything. I'm just laying down and basically seeing my surroundings,
Mhm.
and I can't move. It's actually a very awful sensation, actually. But I never had an experience with an entity before
Mhm.
until yesterday.
I knew this was leading to something. He always
Uh,
does this.
Till yesterday, chat. Yesterday, I was having I was sleeping because it's so hot because it's summer.
Mhm.
I laid on the ground. I put my mattress on the ground, and Sophie was sleeping with me. And I'm pretty sure Sophie is kind of the culprit here because she induced my sleep paralysis because she wanted me to keep petting her and I was falling asleep. So every time I fall asleep and stop petting her, she kind of complained. and I kind of wake up like groggily. And that situation repeated like 3 times to the point where I think she induced my sleep paralysis. And yeah, I was aware. I was looking around. I could see Sophie. I could see my room, but I couldn't move.
Mhm.
And then, you know, I started hearing noises coming from the kitchen because I slept with my door open that leads directly to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, that's weird because they weren't supposed to have anything in the kitchen right now because it's like 1 a.m.
Mhm.
And I start hearing because my kitchen leads to the front door. I started hearing as if somebody was messing with the front door, trying to get it open.
What
And
the?
I was like, I couldn't move, and I was like, and in the back of my mind, I wasn't so worried because Sophie was not barking. So I was like, okay, so if Sophie's not barking with someone messing with the front door, that means that's probably not happening,
Mhm.
or it's just happening in my head,
Oh, I'm just going
or
insane.
and then I went to the third conclusion, or this entity is not corporeal.
Oh my goodness.
So like there's 3 outcomes here. Or I'm going insane, or I'm just dreaming. Or there's a ghost coming inside. And I started getting really worried because I heard the door opening. And I start hearing footsteps. And to the front door to my room, which the door that was open towards the kitchen, is just a couple steps. Like it's not even like 15 feet. And I started hearing footsteps. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And then, and this is what a part I found really funny. Because I went to the conclusion, okay, this is a ghost or this is an entity, right?
Mhm.
And my thought immediately, my first thought was like, I hope they're hot.
Oh
And the
my.
moment I thought that, I woke up. The moment I thought that, I woke up. They gave up on me, Macaron. They noped out. You know what? Never mind.
They really said, you know what? I'm not having a piece of this today. I'm gonna leave. I'm out. You really just chased away the ghost girl by literally thinking, I hope they're hot. Not me,
I hope they're
homie.
hot.
Not me, homie. I'm out. You
The
leave me be.
The fact that was my first thought is insane.
If I were a
It's
ghost
actually
and
insane.
someone literally like out loud said, "I hope you're hot," I would literally just go running into the and literally I would either like approach you and be like, "Nah, bitch, I'm here to get food," and like steal all your stuff, or I
Can you
will
not?
or I will literally just come up to you and freak you out on purpose.
Damn. So this is my guide to fight apparitions, chat. Just ponder upon their hotness, and then they would just go away.
I think that's just
It
so
worked.
funny. I know it worked, but that's just so funny. They literally said, "Nope, nah, I'm not having this. Nah, you're the second person to say that to me today. I've had it."
Yeah. And there could be a scientific explanation that Sophie induced my sleep paralysis, and because I spent the past night watching Agatha all along,
Mhm.
probably those things are connecting. I was just dreaming, but I like to think I scared away a ghost because of horny. That's what I think. That's what I want to believe.
I hope you're hot.
Because I already accepted my fate. Okay, I guess I'll die now, but like I just hope they're hot.
Wait, but can I see your boobs? No. No. Goodbye.
Okay. I wasn't going to be disrespectful to the ghost, okay? I was just wondering.
Oh my. That's like Scream kind of humor. Like the
Right?
like
It
or like
is.
scary movie kind of humor.
Yeah.
That
It is.
it's so bad. Oh. Never change,
It
Corn.
worked.
Never changed.
Uh,
Always be
Yay!
Oh, well, that's a banger way to start up the episode.
Yeah, it worked. Chat. It's proof. I'm the living proof that it worked. You know
Oh
what to
my
do now.
goodness.
The all seriousness, yeah. I was watching Agatha all along, like the Marvel show, and it's a really, really good show. Really, really good show that stands on itself. Like in the middle of when you're watching it, you even forget, oh yeah, this is like an Avengers thing
Mm,
because it's so well done, and they go really deep into like the witchcraft type of things. It's really good.
mhm.
I highly recommend it. Have you watched it?
No, I've only seen a lot of the clips, especially technically spoiler alert, unless you haven't
Mm-hmm.
been on TikTok, in which case get a better For You page. Um, the what is her name? She,
Aubrey Plaza.
yes?
Hell yeah.
I think she's the Queen of Cups in her
Oh
in her
no,
fake
no,
cards.
that's Patsy Lupo. That's the
Yeah.
musical actress. She's really good. I
Yes.
love her job,
So I remember
her work.
seeing all the edits because the song that they play during her sequence is Time in a Bottle, which also, in case none of you know this, is the same song that Quicksilver plays in a scene in Future Days of Past or whatever from X-Men. So a lot of people were pointing that out and then proceeded to make a lot of edits with her and the song. And I was like, actually, pretty iconic. She looks pretty good considering she's about to die, but
Yeah.
not gonna
No,
lie,
it
it
was a
looked really
it was a
cool.
it was a really sad scene. To her death was a really sad scene, but Aubrey Plaza as Death was one of the best casting I ever seen. It was really good.
I do think
It was
it's really
really, really good.
funny that the relationship between her and Agatha, it's
Mm-hmm.
so funny because it is genuinely just an enemies to lovers to friends to I have no idea what we are anymore because I'm mad at you.
Two enemies. Yeah, yeah.
You know what?
That's and
Real.
all of that happens like off screen. Actually, you only see a glimpse of that relationship being formed. It is
Yeah.
really good, and the twist also is really good. The twist about uh
About the road.
Teen, not only about about the road, but also the whole thing about Teen and who he is and who he's supposed to be. I think that's a really, really good way to do a plot twist. It was really well done. I highly recommend if you guys haven't watched it, highly recommend. It's on Disney Plus right now.
Subscribe to Disney Plus.
You're not, but they're not sponsoring me, but yeah, that's where I watch it because I was watching with Abby and Abby shared her screen. That's what happened. That's
So
why.
you're telling me you watched it for free?
Yeah, yay! Oh, which is another thing, another controversy that happened this week about watching things for free.
Oh,
Have you not seen it?
I might not be caught up, but lay the tea on me. What
Okay,
happened?
okay. Chat. So you guys know of the gift to the world that is a company called Overcorp, and you know they created one of the best things that ever exists called Hololive. And Hololive has their yearly Holofest, which is basically a concert with all the talents from the company. And this year, for the 4 stages, the prices are a little steep. They got a little bit higher than last year's. And people are saying, "Oh, it's not worth it." Some people are saying, "Oh, it's too expensive," which valid. Some people are saying if they're charging this much, it's because probably they have new stuff or cool stuff in the thing that they didn't have the previous years, which always fair, of course. But the price is steep, and a lot of people were saying that a lot of famous fans like the cosplayer, well, not I shouldn't name people, but like the very famous people the Hollow fans, you know, that are popular on Hollow Twitter, for example,
Hmm.
some of them are saying they're not gonna watch because they can't afford to. because it's really steep. And then it sparked a discussion between people saying, "Oh, but if you support the company, if you truly love your Oshi, you should pay the price." And I think that's a terrible, terrible, terrible mentality to have.
Actually, let's go in for context really quickly. The HoloLive Super Expo 2025, is this the ticket revenue we're talking about?
I think, yeah, I believe.
1,100 yen, which if we do the transfer, that's the $11. Maybe this isn't it then.
But what is really steep if you want to watch everything? If you want to watch the 4 stages, that's where the price gets a little bit higher. Because a lot of fans were saying, "Oh, but you don't have to watch the 4 stages. Just watch the stage your Oshi's in." But a lot of people used to watch everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another part. That's a discussion. That's what the discussion's about.
Yeah.
And then it sparks a discussion of like, no, I'm just gonna pirate it. And then people say, "No, don't pirate," and then start, a whole other conversation. Hey, chat, let me tell you something. You don't have to spend money to prove that you're a fan. As content creators, and that works for big creators too, despite of some of what they tell you. The best thing you can do to support your creator is being on their streams, watching their YouTube posts, watching their clips. You don't have to do anything else. It's already great support. Of course, if you can, and if you're willing to support a little bit more by subscribing, or in this case buying merch, or or going to their concerts, of course, absolutely do that. But don't feel obligated to do it. You don't. That's not a way to say you're only a true fan if you spend the money. That's a very bad mentality to have. Go ahead, Macaron. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to look for the prices. Once per attraction is technically like $11. So for the free, I think so. Whatever that means. Hold on. So 4 stages, I'm assuming, is the HoloLive Amusement Arcade Hammer Free Fall, HoloLive Amusement Arcade Roundup, the Runway Mascots, HoloLive Amusement Arcade Holo Wars, Office Block Breaker, Holo Witches Sticker Photo Ticketing. Whatever half of this means. I'm assuming this is the thing we're talking about.
Could be.
But
I thought might not. Yep.
So if we're looking around.
Hi, Luke. Hello. Good morning.
No! Japan! Why would you do this? I hate the system. Oh my goodness.
You can't see the price until you buy it?
No. So I just scrolled down. Maybe I'm reading into this wrong, but there is the lottery ticket.
What does that mean?
Okay, so for those who don't know about this is a problem that, as far as I know, Japan has strictly done this.
Mm-hmm.
For concerts, major events, all that jazz. For typically in the Western world, when there's tickets being sold for an artist, you go online and you fight for your life to get a ticket, to buy it, right? Or to get in queue to buy that ticket. In Japan, they have a lottery system that they run under. So basically, you are purchasing a lottery ticket in order for you to have a chance to get a ticket to go to this event. But that doesn't guarantee that you will actually get a ticket to go to this thing. And if I'm reading this correctly, it looks like they're doing the same thing for HoloFest. This is if I'm reading this correctly, unless I'm completely wrong about it.
I think you're looking at the expo, because they're gonna have an expo, I think, on the venue as well. That's not the concert.
Okay,
you have to go on Fest.
Where the fuck
That's
is the
where
concert
the
then?
You go to it's the red one. You scroll all the way down, and Six Fest Color Rise Harm. Oh my god. Okay. That's 9,900 yen
Wait, who's
for the whole stage.
who's in for the sponsor? Let's see. Bandai, yeah, whatever. Undone. Oh wait, who you guys are? Good Smile. Cool, we know who that is. No, no,
Good Smile's
yes.
a company for merch.
Oh yeah, we know who that is. They do the Nendroids.
Mm-hmm.
V Square. That's crazy. Didn't think
I
that
don't know who
Lotte
is
Cinema.
that.
So V Square is kind of Korea's, I guess, little outlet for Japanese or just VTubers in general to, I guess, make
Mm-hmm.
themselves known, essentially. It's basically run by Lotte, which is a major conglomerate line within Korea. We can have a discussion about Korean conglomerates another time because man, that is a
Fair.
very deep rabbit hole that I can get into. Side note,
That sounds interesting.
fun fact, most of the conglomerates, major conglomerates anyways, in Korea are all related to each other. Little did you know. But
Monopoly.
yeah,
Love
it's
that game.
kind of crazy. You want to know who what family they all majorly come from?
Mm-hmm.
The Lee family, who owns Samsung.
Oh, okay. So it's like a
Yeah.
big conglomerate.
It's huge conglomerate, massive conglomerate. People are
Oh,
marrying
I
into
found the
these
prices.
families.
For each stage is 6,800 yen, or you can pay 25,000 yen for the 2-day stream pass. That's the stream to watch online, not on the venue. Those are different prices. But to watch online is each stage is 6,800 yen.
Six Fest Color Rise Harmony. Hi, Avi!
Hi,
Sing
hi,
that version.
Abby.
Ah! Okay,
I was talking about
so
Agatha a little bit ago. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, is it the Six Fest Color Rise Harmony?
Yes, that's the thing.
General reserve tickets, $9,898. Obstructed viewing seats, $48. That is literally a $50 decrease. What it Huh?
Let me do some
What?
conversions here. Hi, thank you for the hydrate, Abby, and oh no, thank you for the hydrate, Hylian, because Abby didn't redeem anything. I love Agatha too, Abby. Hello, thank you, Hylian, for the
For
hydrate.
people residing
But
outside of Japan, they are purchasing it through Zyko, and then for people residing within Japan, it's Lawson Ticket, which Lawson Ticket aren't too bad, but like apparently there's some things here and there that I've heard from people. I have used Lawson Ticket though because they also operate Ghibli Park's ticketing system, so it didn't go too bad. It worked out.
wait,
So,
doing the math here, at least converting to my currency,
mm,
it's not. I mean, I've went to concerts in Brazil, and the prices go really, really higher.
mhm.
It's only almost $400 for a stage here. Well, technically, to be fair, we only pay for like the whole venue once.
Yeah.
We have to pay like if I want to buy all the stages. If I want to buy the 2-day pass, that's almost $1,000, which is not that different from real life concerts in a really
Remember
good
though what
spot.
I said to you, there is the lottery system that they're running this all
The lot.
under. So you're still gonna be getting in for a lot of shit.
That's fair.
So, okay, to be fair, base price wise, not too bad considering that we have seen concerts go up in price to like $200, $300 for seats. It's been a ridiculous
Mhm.
amount. So it's not like insanely bad. However, like I mentioned before, in case everybody had missed what I had said, Japan runs under a lottery system, so you're still paying to just get into the lottery, and if you don't win that
Uh-huh.
lottery, you don't get tickets.
I see. I see. I see. I see. Yeah, that's a big problem.
I hate that system so much. It's why
Okay.
when I wanted to go to Chanyeol's concert in Osaka while we were there, I would have had to compete in a lottery system, and I know for a fact I was not winning that lottery. I was not winning that lottery. Too many people wanted to see him.
It is
Ah.
fair. Oh,
General sales
March.
ticket. There ain't no way there's gonna be any tickets left over for that general sales ticket. Bruh, be for
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah. It's all alive. Like they outsell everything. Okay, so chat. I didn't know about the price itself. I just saw people complaining about it. Like for me, if I'm comparing like to a show in Brazil, it's not that different. Honestly, it's not that different. But I can see how that can be steeper than usual because last year wasn't that much. I'm pretty sure. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I wanted to watch the whole thing, I'll pay almost 500. So I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I think the prices are almost doubled from last year, and I can see that being a big step to advance if you're kind of short on money, which is fair. So the criticism that people are having doesn't make sense to me. Oh, you're only a true fan if you spend money. No, that's a bad mentality, chat. That's a bad mentality for sure. It, and and not only that, like people buy merch all the time. You don't have to buy merch. Like I know a person who I would argue, without a shadow of a doubt, is the biggest fan of Mori Calliope. Is a real life friend, and she has merch. She has bought merch, but she doesn't have every single merch that came out, or she doesn't have. Uh, she haven't seen all of concerts. You know, and she is the biggest fan of Mori Calliope that I know of, and I'm pretty sure more than anybody else in the world. That doesn't mean anything. She's still a big fan. She still loves the creator. She still supports the creator. But sometimes people don't have money to invest, and that's fair, and that's okay, and that doesn't make them less of a fan.
Maybe put your money where your mouth is, guys.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now that I'm now getting money with my doctorate, maybe when Moonmay drops a new merch anytime soon, I might get it, maybe, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a fan because I haven't got any merch since. You know
Wait, are you kidding me?
what?
68. Well, okay, 6,800 yen for a streaming
Yeah,
ticket for one stage.
for one stage. That's what people were talking about. Yeah, it's for one stage. If you want all four, it's 25,000 yen. Or you can buy them individually, but that's we have to spend more for that. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah, that's possible.
25,000 yen, $250?
Okay,
To
I will
stream
say
something, by the
though.
way, to stream it. We're not talking a physical ticket at this point. We are talking about
Yeah,
literally having a video in front of you for $250.
yeah,
Think about that
I
in
will.
cinema pricing.
I will say though, because I have to sell my fish here. It is Hololive, so you're getting a good quality of an event.
Yeah, that's true. I would be convinced. I'd be fine if you said to me for 2 days at the physical concert, $250 is what you have to pay. I'd be fine with that because that's a typical concert in general to see someone live. To
Mm-hmm.
pay $250 for something that is very similar to watching a concert in cinemas that I have been to twice before and have only had to pay like $30, that's a big stretch.
Look, look. You're talking about my Yoshis here.
I don't care if it's your Oshi. Have some standards, Con. We've been over this. Oh my gosh.
Look, it's a little bit expensive. It is expensive. I'll give you that. It is expensive.
Like I said, if you had said to me that that was the price to see it physically in front of you live on a big screen where you're surrounded by Holo fans, I would have been cool with that. But the fact that
Base.
I'm seeing this price and it's strictly for streaming for 2 days, you're kidding. You're actually kidding me. That's not worth it when I can see something different for better pricing. Ah!
well, well, now we get to another point, which is the alternative to Macaron.
Yeah, the alternative
We're
is for
gonna.
someone to basically, as we talked about before, pirating it, which at this point, yeah, you might as well if you're going to be spending $250 on it. You better be getting a gift box out of that. Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, when it comes to VTuber concerts, there aren't a lot going around, to be honest. So
The closest you
Hololive
get
does.
to a quote-unquote VTuber concert, if anything, just seeing like a virtual person on stage in general is Hatsune Miku, and I know her tickets go for that amount as well, but a DVD that price, man, I would literally be kicking myself in the ass. Hell no! That's terrible!
Yeah,
That's not good! No, it actually is validated as to
mm-hmm.
why people would complain about it, because like I said, if you had
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me that that's what you get for seeing them live, fine. But no, streaming tickets, no. No, no, I better be getting something else out of this. You better be
Yeah,
sending me
it's
PR packages.
really
I want
that
a
would be
PR package.
cool. That would be cool actually. Hololive learn. But yeah, it's a very, very steep price. And people were saying, and no, people were like you said, justifiably like, I'm gonna sit this one out because it's too expensive.
Mhm.
And people were like, oh, but I thought you were a Hololive fan. Aren't you going
Fuck
to pay the
them. They're not real
price?
Hololive fans out here if they're out here complaining about, I thought you were said, shut up. Shut up. I
Yeah.
don't want to hear you talking about you're not a real Hololive fan if you're just going to be out here tossing money. Which, by the
Mhm.
way, some of it doesn't even make it to the talents themselves, by the way, just so we're clear. It doesn't actually make it into their pockets sometimes, so... Therefore...
Okay, Macaron.
Look, I'm
Okay.
just saying it how it is, okay? If you truly want to support your Oshi, literally like Corn said, just go watch their streams. Go out of your way to just spend a
Yes.
little bit of time to just support them on Twitter or whatever. That's fine. You don't have to go out of
You.
your way to spend thousands of dollars on somebody who isn't actually going to get that
Mhm.
full entire paycheck, okay? They're literally probably going to get like a tenth of that paycheck, maybe even less than that. So therefore, spend your money wisely. Support them in your own way. Heck, just do like a fan project if you want. Those go a really long way, and not a lot of people do that.
True. True, exactly.
In fact, I don't even think there's been any fan projects that have been really big for any VTuber, really. So, go out of your way
Yeah,
to be
mostly
the
on
first to do
their.
that. So,
Exactly. When it happens, it's mostly on their birthday, and like for example, they do stuff like the fans like go around, they send messages. I think they made like Mume for one of her birthdays. They made her a diary where like all the fans send a little message.
oh,
It
that's
was really nice.
cute.
It's really
See?
good. It was really good. Yeah.
Something memorable. Something that actually sticks.
True. In chat, you guys have no idea how much CCV, which is like concurrent viewers on a stream, helps you out. You have no idea how good enough that is for a streamer, because having a good CCV opens a lot of doors in this space. I'm just letting you guys know.
VTubers.
So watching, yeah, not
VTuber.
only VTubers, I would say is streaming in general.
That's true, yeah.
Like watching your favorite streamer, just being there while they're alive helps tremendously, and you have no idea.
So to y'all out here saying that you're not a real Hololive fan, just a couple of polite words up here. Shove those words up your ass.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it from you because there is no such thing as being a real Hololive fan. You know what that kind of mentality is like? It's very similar to people when you tell them that you like something and they immediately decide to trivia you on it.
Oh, they ask the hard, yeah, a lot of questions. Oh, you're a
No.
comic book fan? You know who died in that issue in 1985?
Your
Huh?
mom!
Do
That's who
you?
died!
Yeah,
Oh.
that's sad. That is sad. Yeah, is the gamer. I like to call it the gamer girl fallacy. When people are like, just back in the day when a girl was like, "Oh, I play video games. I'm a gamer girl." Like, oh yeah, tell me about this video game and this video. You don't do
We
that to men.
still get
Back then,
that.
we still get that.
Oh.
We still get it. I'm pretty sure there was people saying that because of the quote unquote wokeness of the current video game industry. Women should not be allowed to participate in video game projects. I'm pretty sure I see something like that recently. I was like, what? Bro, look at I'm pretty sure like a lot of good games were written by women. Like a lot of the good games. Back in the day too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, and people are crazy about it.
Like, I
People
get
are
that there was, like, this huge thing that went on ages ago, and I get that sometimes within the gaming industry, women want to push for something. Sometimes they're usually right to push that thing in general because they work in
mhm,
an industry that's very male-dominated, and a lot of their work gets
mhm,
crushed a lot of the time. We're
mhm,
still
mhm,
having to
mhm.
deal with that to this day, and it's like, be grateful that some of the work that you even get to play at all was more than likely developed by a woman because she decided to push for what she wanted. And it's the same thing with just
Mhm.
developers in general. Sometimes game devs have to force and push a company to put something in somewhere because the higher ups aren't allowing it, but they literally aren't backing down because it's like, no, this game needs this here. We're not gonna take no for an answer, and if you do, we're all walking out, and you can make this game by yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's a really weird because then you have the other side of the coin too, where
Mm.
like for example, people were complaining about Stellar Blade for ages. And when I actually sat down to say, okay, what is this controversy? And the whole controversy is because the main character is an attractive woman that has a skin that looks like she's naked. And I was like, what year are we in? Why is that a problem? Like, why are you guys there's the two sides of the coin, and I really hate the when it becomes the horseshoe theory, right? Where
Mm,
like both sides are so extreme that they meet in the middle because they're defending two different things but doing the same thing
mhm.
by attacking others, and that's horrible. The gaming industry, it's so toxic at the moment. Well, not the gaming industry. I would say that the community.
I'd
It's so
say the
bad.
industry as a whole is pretty toxic anyway. Industry and community do generally reflect one another anyways. So whatever's happening in the community gets taken up by the
Mhm,
industry. The industry gets pretty pissed at themselves, or even worse, they start to pressure their developers, and then low in turn we get all the shit coming out, and it's not great for anybody. Nobody's having a good time, and so therefore we get
mhm.
what we're given. It's kind of like the situation, actually two examples. First example is No Man's Sky. Community hyped it up way too much before it was even ready, therefore pushing the developers
Yeah.
to push it out before it was even prepped, and people basically said that this is the shittest game I've ever played. They've developed it better. It's a better game now. In fact, it's a lot of
It's
fun to
such
play
a good
now.
game.
And the other example is Cyberpunk. Overhyped.
Cyberpunk,
Too many
yeah.
people were way too overhyped and excited for it in the community. Therefore, that translated to the industry to crunch and pressure and push developers to do the impossible. They release a product that is short of what they had said it was going to be, and now they have resolved a lot of those issues. It's just the way it is. And it's just because people suck ass. It's because people are
Yeah,
terrible, that's all.
yeah. And Luke has a good point. He said that's very common in band fans or in the music in general. Yeah, when you have anything that has fans on it, there's a possibility for that to become the norm, and it's really bad.
Mm. Oh my
And
goodness,
people don't
actually.
know how to converse, like have a conversation anymore.
Well,
They only know how to attack people.
we've always
They
talked
don't.
about this. We've always said this. We've always been like,
Yeah,
nobody's ready for this talk. Nobody's ready for this conversation. Nobody's ready for the tea I'm
nobody is.
about to spill.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Like, that's always been what we've always been about, is just kind of confronting these things. Like, Corn and I, have always been on the side, for example, of people saying that drama tubers are, like, not actually drama tubers, and we both agree with that, because they're not.
Oh yeah.
They
Mhm.
are people
Mhm.
who inform of the news, so news VTubers is a better term, if anything. And it's just allowing people to be informed and understood about the situation at hand. It's not causing any drama, it's what the aftermath of people who are affected by it, who are reacting to it. That's where the drama comes
Mhm.
in. Nothing else is what causes
Exactly.
that. It's just,
Exactly.
once again, just something that none of you are ready to talk about. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. Gee.
And people are like, "Ah, this drama tubers are ruining my company." Like, no, no, you're that's not your take away from this. You should understand that your company is
Yeah.
doing bad things.
Once again,
That's the takeaway.
conversation none of you are ready for, even within the company. Niji Sanji, cough cough. We've seen the messages, we've
Yeah,
seen the tweets. We don't dislike you guys, the livers, for what you said, because more than likely you were just probably asked to say these things. Some manager took over your account. Maybe you do personally feel these
yeah.
things, but simultaneously at the same time, it's having to recognize and understand that you're not ready for this conversation, at the fact that no, it's not someone who's informing that is the problem. Maybe there is
Mhm.
someone out there who is doing more than informing and is causing drama.
Mhm.
Whatever, free
Mhm.
will, they can do whatever the hell they want. Though at the end of the day, it does come down to the fact that the facts are all there. It literally wasn't anybody else who caused this downfall
Yeah.
except for your own company, who decided to toss you and everybody else under this bus, and you all had to fight tooth and nail for a good 8 months. You still have to come out here and fight. Oh.
Exactly. And people act like, oh, they act like the quote unquote drama tubers are inventing things. They're creating fake news to bring down the company. That's not what they're doing.
Hmm.
And I will stand on this hill. Like, when people complain about the fallout that came after the Selen Tatsuki situation, everything bad that happened to the company was caused by them directly.
Yeah. There's a
They
whole
they were the
entire document still on their Twitter that was released, that we all
yeah,
read, highlighted, and like completely like destructed in order to make sense of what happened. It's there. It's not made
yeah,
up.
yeah. They were the ones that bring up the bullying accusations. They were the ones that did the infamous black stream during during a random. I'm just gonna say a random streamer name during Doki Bird's comeback stream. They released the black stream. Everything that they did, the financial report where the impact of Selen Tatsuki would be negligible. Everything that they did was absolutely there on doing, and nobody can complain about that. You cannot tell me, oh, it's the drama tubers. No, it's not their fault, bro. You cannot.
Literally, it wouldn't have blown up
Uh,
as fast as it did if it. Well, okay. Granted, when Niji Sanji did drop it, it was being gapped about very fast, very quickly within like the first hour that news had dropped. And then a couple hours later,
mhm.
then the news VTubers, I'm gonna refer to them as now, um
Yep.
came about and informed everybody about it. Now, whether you had been informed via the announcement from Niji Sanji or from a news tuber will probably define where you stand, whether or not you think that one party is the villain or not. Doesn't matter to me how you found out. It's the fact that it's all there. It's been documented, it's been written up, it's been literally like we've all deconstructed it all. It's all there. and it's been there, and in case you still haven't
Mhm.
caught up and it's been an entire year now, go look for it. It's out there still.
Exactly. Exactly, chat. I'm just gonna. I need to change my blinking effect. Sorry, go ahead.
I love how we always come back to this
Because
conversation. I feel like it's just a conversation that we always have to
yeah,
bring up because for some reason people can't get it through their heads that this is just how things are. And it's not because like one person is a villain. No, it's because an entire company decided that, oh, you know, it would be hilarious if we didn't take responsibility and we just shoved it onto our own talents. Which
exactly.
feels bad for them. Some of them, yeah, granted, don't want them in the company because they've done some heinous shit. We can go all day over that stuff as
Oh,
much as we want. But
exactly.
simultaneously, once again, we do come back to a fact of they are humans, they are people, and the fact that you threw them under the bus and they had to basically go running around for scraps trying to damage control on their own. Half of them took breaks as well, by the way, in case or any of you forgot about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was pretty bad. It was pretty damaging, whether or not good or bad VTuber. Everybody had to had basically received some bad backlash from it in general. Because remember when that news came out, everything turned into a witch hunt all of a sudden. Was bad that
Yeah,
that's what
people start.
happened,
Yeah,
but that's what the result was. You tossed all of your talents under the bus, said that there were bullying allegations, didn't mention who it was, but there were, and so therefore it turned
yeah.
into a witch hunt. So,
Which is crazy to me.
mm,
That after that, not only they admitted there were bullying allegations, apparently they didn't do nothing to, lay off the bullies. And well, I think they still work in the company up to this day, a year later, and then you have other allegations coming out from the company, and you see stuff piling up, and then they complain like, "Oh, why nobody's going to watch their concerts?" And they have the gall to say, "Well, because people could be harmed by antis," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
mm.
You really think that's the reason why they canceled the concert? Not because nobody bought any fucking tickets, they couldn't fill a fucking row of seats, and you're gonna tell me they
Like,
canceled because of security reasons? Come
I
on,
will
man.
admit, granted, that part makes a little bit of sense because there was a bit of a riot and a lot of artists who had already made Niji Sanji merch that they literally couldn't take
Hmm.
back either. They had to sell it at all these conventions and they were getting harassed. Makes a lot of sense. I do understand it from that kind of perspective. Though once again, it's a corporate company. This corporate company doesn't actually care about these artists in general. So in a
That's a
sense,
good
it
point.
is partially correct that they did say it that way, but also simultaneously at the same time, we do on the other side of the coin understand that no, it's literally just because you didn't sell enough tickets. So yeah,
Yeah.
two things can be true at the same time, but for the most part, we do know that it's one over the other.
Yes, chat.
At least in the sense of their own personal agenda. Because I know for a fact they're not out here doing these things to protect artists. No way in hell would they doing something to protect artists. They never protect artists in general. It was just simply an
They don't even
excuse.
pay them sometimes.
Exactly. So as much as the notion is very much led towards people believing that, oh, they just care so much about us. No, they don't. They don't care about you guys. It's about trying to cover up something that has literally nothing to do with you guys in general. So
Hmm,
as
hmm,
sad as that
hmm.
is, but also once again, I will say I did hate the fact that people were harassing those
Yeah, of
who
course.
yeah, they can't do anything about that. They've printed that stuff. Literally, the week leading up to those conventions is when the Selene Tatsky termination paper came out. There was
Yeah,
nothing they
they
could
had, yeah,
do. So they had to sell, even if it did or didn't make them money, or even if they got, like, huge harassments from people, which once again, we'll say,
it's bad.
yeah, don't fucking do that.
Don't be
some
that, yeah, chat.
some people just do this kind of stuff because, well, they have no other choice. They have to keep going with it. Their livelihood depends on this, so therefore, don't ever fucking do that.
Yeah.
What's it? Thank you for
Also,
the
there's
hydrate,
contract.
Hylian.
Yay! Hydrate. Basically, chat, the takeaway that you should have from this is that Niji-Sanji is the root of all evil. And that's basically
Me and the devil.
Hi Ryu, welcome. Thank you for the hydrate. Welcome to the stream.
Actually, okay, so going on to a different topic because you know what? Let's just keep on rolling with the drama. So moving on to technically a different industry, though similar in stance. So Plave, right? Who absolutely one of my favorite virtual idol groups. They're from Korea, by the way, in case any of you know.
Oh yeah, you said you're gonna tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that,
Oh
chat.
my goodness. Okay, so context for everybody. Plave is a virtual idol group from Korea. Technically the first of their kind, and the most successful of their kind as well. Literally had their own concert recently, selling out albums. Everybody loves them, all that jazz. They are literally probably some of the most talented guys in this generation, this new gen that has come about. Now, the tea that I'm spilling here is no slander against them because I love them. It's literally slander against people, number one, who think that doxing is completely fine just because you want to get a point across. Makes no sense. And number two, the backlash that came from said doxer. So, basically what happened was that Plave's identities were revealed online. Now, I will subcontext this. Plave have technically been known for a while as to who they are. It wasn't really a secret to a lot of people. People just chose to not give a damn because they were like, well, it doesn't matter what they used to do. What matters is what they do now and the art that they produce right now and who they are as people right now, not 10 years ago. This person who had reposted the person who doxed them on Twitter, who, by the way, I don't care if you come looking for me, I will say it straight up, don't ever spread misinformation like that ever again. 'Cause what the fuck was that? Pretty much they had, in giant text, in capitalized text on their tweet had said that all of Plaves have been doxed and, like, all of them are misogynistic and whatnot. Which, by the way, they're not. Not, like...
Okay.
Big claim for something that, only one person has actually participated in out of all of them, and it was 10 years ago, and he apologized for it. So we should be over this by now anyways. The only other thing that people, for some reason, were mad about is their ages, because they were like, they're not actually 24 years old, they're not actually the age that they say they are. What kind of surprise is that? What? Okay, next part though. Wait for this, Con. Next part, you want to know the other thing that they're pissed off about is that the members behind the virtual, like, characters of Plave, right, do not have the same skin tone as the people that they play.
Oh no!
And I was like, okay, this is a conversation we do not need to be having. Why does this matter to you? Oh my goodness.
There's no way. No way. Oh my, that's horrible.
This is why we can't have good things. This is why we can't have good things, because people like them come into the fandom, decide that it's okay to start spreading the gospel about things that literally mean nothing to anybody, and then they're like, no, you should be mad about this too. Honey, nobody gives a shit, okay? Nobody's mad about this. If anything, we think you look stupid for being mad about this. Are you kidding me? Those are the two things that you took away from this, was that, oh my goodness, they're actually in their 30s. They're not actually 24. Okay, so?
Bro.
You're probably not
That
24. I bet
is
you've been lying on your Facebook page to your mother that you're apparently 35 when you're actually 15. Shut up, okay? I don't want to hear all this bullshit. Stop talking. Oh my god.
exactly, Abby. How dare they still be legal adults? How dare they?
Number two, the whole skin tone thing threw me off.
Oh,
I was like, what do you
that's
mean?
hilarious. Like, guys, if that's your concern, there might be a deeper problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause what the
What do
hell?
you mean they're not white? That's
Actually
so funny.
was
Oh, that's hilariously
so
funny. Oh my
bad.
god.
But I will touch on the misogyny part, right? Because that is, I think, the
Mhm.
the the thing that really annoyed me was that someone had basically said that all five of them were misogynist. No. If anything, technically none of them are misogynist. One of them made some really poor decisions 10 years ago with lyrics that were never actually officially published. And
Mhm.
basically they had apologized for that, and then they haven't done anything in similar sense ever again. Can we just normalize, like, allowing people to give proper apologies and then moving on rather than continuously going
Oh,
back to the
yes.
past?
Yes. Yes, that is something that yes, that's something I always think about as well.
Mhm.
People are not allowed to apologize anymore. Like apologies mean okay, unless somebody did something criminal. Oh, I can see like some people did something criminal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine to have resentment because they committed a crime, there people were hurt,
Yeah.
etc. Like, oh, there was this drama that happened that this person was mean or this person said something. If they apologize and they never did it again, please, yeah, come on,
Yeah.
let them, move on. Let them move on.
Like, I get if, like, for example, someone's done something bad, they, like, half-ass apologize and then continue to do that bad thing, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But for someone who had
100.
apologized and then continues to be better and change for the better, allow them to be, the better person they're trying to be. Stop trying to bring up the past that they
Mm-hmm.
have basically tried to, be forgiven for. 'Cause why are we
Yes,
still hung up on it? What?
exactly. Yeah, and Highland brings up a good point too. Like, it has to be genuine change, not just they're saying or saying it.
Mm,
But if they actually showed change, they moved on. People learn, people grow, right?
mhm.
So yeah, we need to. Yeah. Also, I know one person that was happy that they weren't actually white. I know one person that was happy. It
Who?
was Uki Violetta. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Damn. Okay, damn.
uh, that's a joke.
But, like, I
I'm joking,
will
guys.
say that I think the immense amount of support that came from a lot of Suplee is their fans', names.
Hmm.
Literally, none of them gave a single fuck. It was
Yeah,
it was mostly the
because
people who
why it
weren't
should
fans of theirs.
matter. Yeah, right. That's the whole point. It's so. I'm sorry. I'm still laughing because that's so funny.
No, I know. Oh, someone said, so Plave aunties hanging onto the members pushing 30 are perfectly normal age to be an idol. We don't give a fuck about them lying about their age because that's the entire point of their virtual persona. And it was kind of known in
Yeah.
the fandom to begin with. We simply respected their privacy.
Fuck. Yeah.
Uh,
No. Literally. It's crazy because why would that matter? Why? Okay, I understand the whole idol culture has a thing, with age. It's a whole other conversation, but it shouldn't really matter. It
mm,
shouldn't really matter what they actually, how old they actually are. It's like when you see if you see a mainstream post about Iron Mouse, for example,
yeah.
you can bet 55% of the comments on that article is going to be why are we talking about a man that uses an anime girl avatar? Like it gets so tiring every time. I was like, what do you mean? That makes no sense. Why is that still a thing?
It's just, oh,
There are male VTubers. They don't have to pretend to be a girl.
it's so.
It's so
The
funny.
world is falling apart.
Yeah.
Can we go back to, I don't know, common sense?
Yeah.
Is that so
Can you go
hard?
back to the time where the most heated discussions in the internet were like, "Oh, my wife was better than yours," or like power level from Dragon Ball Z. Those were the times.
Or like, I don't know, famous rap battles or whatever. What happened to those? Those were simpler
Yeah.
times.
Oh no, we're still having rap battles. Actually, the rap battle scene is actually doing pretty well at the moment. I'm a big rap battle enjoyer.
Common sense is
And
actually taught. No, because Highly, remember, we can't call it common sense anymore because it's not common. It's actually rare
it's not
sense.
common. It's rare sense. That's a good one. That's good. I'm gonna use that word. That's good.
We're not
Rare
allowed to
sense.
call it that anymore.
Exactly.
Oh, actually makes me mad. It makes me so mad. It makes me pissed off. Can't have any good things anymore because somebody's always out here to ruin it. Ugh.
Yep.
Rare sense is still a taught trait.
Yes, it is.
Then
People
I
don't have it
bring out
normally.
my counter card to that is that it's just natural selection.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Natural
That's fair.
selection. Sorry, some people are more prone to it than others, I guess.
What Maca is saying here in the underlined chat is that we should kill anybody that doesn't agree with us. That's what.
Oh my goodness.
By the way.
Look, agree to disagree. That's perfectly fine. But have some logic behind it. Be smart about it at least.
Yeah, it's fine to disagree. Just be, just be real.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we just be real about. Like, don't make stuff up. Like just be a person. Just think like a person.
I agree with you, Becca. Please don't hurt me. I would never hurt you, Hylian. I would never hurt you.
Just a little bit.
Huh?
Just a little bit.
No.
To keep them in line. To keep them in line.
She hurt me with
She
an
hurts me with an ad break. Dang. See, that's what you get.
Oh.
See,
I'm still on board with the making our own ads and completely ditching the Twitch automated ads because I think that would be so cool to just run our own silly ads in the middle of the podcast.
That would be so funny if we did that. We should really do that.
It'd be like botched as well, which would also make it 10 times hilarious, is that it makes no sense and it looks so heinously bad, it's good.
Exactly.
Silly ads, yeah. I'm in for that. I want that. I want to advocate
really
for
fun.
that.
I want to advocate for silly ads.
Oh.
The defense for silly ads.
Look,
True.
in a world full of stupid advertisements for silly, not even silly, I don't even want to use, silly is strictly for silly. Stupid is for stupid. I don't want to see an ad for a cologne I'm never gonna buy, and I don't even think it's for a cologne. It just looks like it's a trailer for a sad romance movie. Like, come on.
No, for real.
If the cologne is supposed to smell like a beach, then, film it on a beach. If it's not meant to smell like a beach, I don't know, film it in a bathtub. I don't know, somewhere. Film it somewhere else. Ugh.
Okay, I disagree to that because the Old Spice commercials are so fucking hilarious.
Okay, that I will say
They
an
make no
exception.
sense.
A very good exception. Because that's really funny. Look back at me. Look back at your man. Now look back to me.
Look back to me. It's so good. They should make more of those. Oh, I miss those kinds of ads.
That's an iconic ad. They need to bring that back if they have taken that away, because that is an injustice to society as a whole. That's a legacy that needs to be upheld. Like, I don't care how many times you remake it. It's still iconic. It's still great. I don't care how many times you have to change out the actor. Keep that horse in, I don't know, breed that horse and, I don't know, make that child the new horse. I don't care. Just keep it the same. It's iconic. It's been around for years. It just works.
literally, Old Spice just came to Brazil. Like the whole brand came to Brazil
Mhm.
because they had Terry Crews as his like commercial guy. Yeah, I'm not even joking because Terry Crews is basically a god in Brazil. I talked about
You
this
have
before.
told me this, yeah.
Yeah, because Terry Crews he participated in White Chicks, which is basically Brazilian like national treasure, and Everybody Hates Chris. They are very popular pieces of media in Brazil. Isn't a single Brazilian today. Well, maybe if they're younger, but like there isn't a single Brazilian that haven't watched White Chicks and Everybody Hates Chris, and we love Terry Crews. We love Terry Crews. Like there's a multiple interviews when they interview the cast of Everybody Hates Chris, and they will say how much they love coming to Brazil because in Brazil they are a celebrity. They are a celebrity. Yeah, White Chicks. Everybody in Brazil loves White Chicks. We love that fucking movie. You have no idea. That's why I'm so excited because they're bringing back you said the name of the comedy movie, the comedy horror movies. What's the name again? You mentioned that before.
It's either Scream or Scary Movie. I think
Scary
it's Scary
movie.
Movie,
That's why I'm
yeah.
so happy that they're bringing back the scary movie because the brothers that produce and direct the scary movie, they are the White Chicks, and I think society is ready for a white chick too. Just saying, I think society is really it 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 is ready for that.
You
We
know
need that.
what's occurred to me is that every single
What?
Brazilian national treasure doesn't even originate in Brazil.
Uh, yeah, I mean, we're working on that. Like, I'm still here. Can win the Oscars, and we're really happy about that. Chatty
Don't
should watch
worry,
that movie
Colin. You
together.
are a Brazilian national treasure in our hearts.
Ah, thank you.
They can be really good or really terrible. No, yeah. Look, I think remakes and sequels that come decades later usually don't hit as hard as they probably should.
It's a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble
Mhm.
because nostalgia plays a big part of these movies.
Yeah.
So, like, if we see something that doesn't remind us of the original movie, or if it does and is kind of pandery to the
Mhm.
first movie, it's a recipe for disaster. That's why Rockstar and like Bethesda are afraid of making the new GTA and the new Elder Scrolls game because they can never be GTA San Andreas or Skyrim. They can never recreate that, and they are afraid because it's not gonna hit as hard, and people will talk about it. Write the script, or I will. I can, I no joke. I can make a white chick script. I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Oh my goodness.
I have to figure out how much of these stereotype I can play on because I'm white, but I'm missing a very important key part of the movie, so I don't know how much I can write about it.
Controversial take.
Yeah,
Oh,
I need
very,
a
very
print for that one.
controversial. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
So
What happened?
I just spanned the wheel just for the sake of it, right?
A white Brazilian? Yes, Luke. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Why are you white? Just ask me. Why are you white, Karen? Uh,
Why
go ahead.
you
Sorry,
what?
Becker.
But I was just spinning the wheel just for the sake of it, right? It landed on K-pop.
Oh no, it's over, chat. It's really over.
Okay, to be fair, he has been educated via
I have.
me and via Aya and Arcee, and there is plans for all of us to watch the Exordium concert in full. So
Yes, there are plans for that. Yeah, and also Sugarberry. Sugarberry also gave me a tour on the K-pop industry
you did tell
by
me this, yes.
yes, by the competition they do. Is it what's the name of the competition again?
Kingdom.
Uh Kingdom, yes. I was shown the light.
I was shown the light.
K-pop equals Psy for me.
Honestly,
Psy is
makes a
it
lot of
again?
sense.
Is Psy considered K-pop?
He is. So, okay, I need to give some lore because a lot of people don't know this. They only know him for like Gangnam Style and Gentleman. Psy
Mhm.
has actually been in the industry since like 1999, I believe. So he's been around for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And he's, oh my goodness. For those who don't know this, so Psy is like huge in Korea, famous to a point of where his concerts get sold out. And if he's at a summer festival, those summer festivals also get sold out because when he's performing,
Mhm.
he's got so much energy that it literally turns into a ginormous party. And the fun kind, too.
Damn.
He is that
So
famous.
yeah, because I think Psy was like the first like Korean artist that got popularized in the West, right? He was around before K-pop was a thing. Well, in the West.
Technically, no. Okay, I will say he blew it up in
Uh-huh.
2012, made it mainstream to a point of where, people were discovering things. But technically,
Okay.
K-pop has been around for years, and it's only called K-pop because, well, Korean pop, and the US is mostly known for pop as well, although there's like other genres in itself as well. It's literally just music
Okay.
to Korea. So for people who are like, oh, like what's the difference
Oh, makes
between
sense.
Blair and Blair? It's like, well, K-pop technically in Korea is just Korean music to them. It's not. It's like for us in the
Just music.
West, where it's just music. Yeah, we know where it's produced
Mhm.
from and we know where it came from, but it's just music. Same thing for them. Um, but yeah, it's been around since the 90s, which a lot of people don't know that. They think it's like this new like thing that just popped out of the blue in like the 2000s and 10s. No, it's been a
That's what I
lot.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been around since 1990, which was when the first gen came out. So we're talking really big groups who are in Korea, like SES, who was like the biggest girl group in Korea. We've got Shinhwa, HOT, who are also very big as well. They're still pretty big to this day as well.
Mhm.
It's been around for a very long time. And then we move
I
on
see.
to Gen 2, which we're talking the 2000s. At that point,
Mhm.
that's technically the point of where Korea and their music industry is getting recognized. Korea has pushed for decades to get into the American music industry because they know that there is good money to be made there, and they are right. So therefore,
Fair. That is fair.
we're talking like 2000s groups, like Wonder Girls, for example. In case no one actually knew, Wonder Girls went to the US. They went to like MTV in like 2004 or 8. I can't remember. But they actually came to the US years ago. Girls' Generation performed in Madison Square. They are also a second gen girl group. They are huge. Big Bang also still pretty big as well. Although they all didn't reach to the same amount of fame that Psy did in 2012 and as BTS have, they were still very recognizable. People still knew who they were, and that's kind of what set things off. Basically, it started off the TNT. Essentially, is what happened. But yeah, it's been around for years. It's just only now people are realizing that it's a thing. Actually, hold on. I can actually probably tell you exactly when Psy came about. If you ever made an essay about K-pop, I'll read it. Oh, trust me, there's a PowerPoint in the works, Luke. It's in the works. It's on its way. Trust me, it's gonna be a banger. Because I can give you like a brief understanding of K-pop in general. But there's a lot that comes under it that, like it's very like, here's this thing, but I need to give you subcontext to all these other things so that you actually understand it in full. Like, that's kind of what a giant conversation about it would be. But if we talk about it in a generalized sense, what's at a thing that corners down bad for That's not news. That's not news. We've been there. So, for example, in simple terms, what I can generalize for an idea for everybody. So, K-pop, like I said, has been around since 1990s. And Gen 1 goes from 1990 till 2000. Then we have Gen 2, which goes from 2000s till about 2010, 2011, roughly around there. And then we have Gen 3, which was the generation that I came into it. Oh, I'm getting messages. No! God's PC Frog! Ah! Oh no! We've got a man down. There's a man down. Oh no! Ah! He needs an upgrade. Soon and fast. Where was I though? Oh yeah. So Gen 3 is from about 2012 till roughly about. A lot of people say that Gen 3 finished in 2018, which I kind of disagree with because as we've seen with the past two generations. Oh,
I'm back.
you're back.
Oh my god. What happened? Oh, my PC. I was like listening to you. I was like, and then like she stopped talking, and I thought, oh, maybe maybe she's thinking or something. And then I tried to move my mouth and it wasn't moving. I was like, but
Something's broken.
but I'm back now. Sorry,
No,
I
it's
just
all
missed a little bit.
good.
But you can continue. You can continue.
I was just explaining the generation, so I will explain it again. So, 1990 to 2000 is Generation 1. And those consist of Shinhwa, HOT, GOD, SES. Yes, there's a lot of acronyms going around during this time. Don't ask why. And then we have Gen 2, which is the 2000s till about 2010, 11-ish, which is the introduction of Big Bang, Girls' Generation, 21, Super Junior, all those kinds of groups. Oh, and TVXQ.
And what's the difference between them? Like, what changed between the generation?
Mostly sound, as well as.
Oh, okay.
So, if you think about the first generation, the first 10 years, of K-pop, I guess, or just like Korean music in general, was kind of like the test run, basically, because it's having to remember that literally Korea has just pretty much stepped out of war. They've had a bunch of martial laws occur. They're still trying to build themselves up as a nation. Like, they've been going through a lot of shit. The 1990s roll around, and this is the era of R&B in the US. A lot of big artists like Destiny's Child, Jay-Z, all that stuff. They're all being heard around the world. And that is what inspires basically K-pop to start what it starts. So, like, a lot of hip-hop and R&B is technically the roots of K-pop, essentially, is where it all began.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Kind of crazy. There is a bit of trot in there because Koreans love their trot. But for the most part, the biggest groups that were coming out at that time were literally being inspired by like R&B and hip hop at the time. So then we move on to the 2000s, where we're getting more into a more poppy vibe. The genre has kind of changed. They still stick to their roots here and there, but for the most part, the test run is over. We are now moving into phase 2, which is the how much further can we push this, is essentially what the next phase is. And with that kind of, I guess, generation that we're in, we're being introduced to Big Bang, who introduced the concept of light sticks and photo cards and albums. Like, that's where that all began. Like, we're talking 2008. That's where it all started. We move
Mm-hmm.
on to, like, fandom names, fandom colors, like, the whole concept of being a fan and dedication. That, I think, is where it really blew up. Like, there were obviously fans that were dedicated back in the 90s, but merchandising and dedication to a point of where it's a giant business now, where we're
They weren't
making.
organized.
Yeah, they weren't organized originally. They were just selling cassette tapes. That's what their
I
merch
see. I see.
was. Their merch was cassette tapes and a tiny little picture inside that said cassette tape. That was it. And then we move on to generation 2 of where it's about merchandising, selling a product, making
Mm-hmm.
like manufacturing everything and perfecting what they didn't perfect originally. Also, this is at that point as well of where the concept of slave contracts come into play, which story for another
Ooh, yeah.
time. But long story short, the whole reason why those contracts exist is because in the first generation, people were quitting after a year or so, which the companies were not liking that because what am I meant to do with a group that literally blew up in the first few months and now all of a sudden they're not wanting to be a part of this
They're
job
just
anymore?
banding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's where the slave contracts come in, is where, okay, you sign with me for the first 3-4 years. Cool. And then I will keep
Jesus
on signing you
Christ.
over and over and over again. I will manipulate you into staying in this company so I can keep making bank off you. Which, once again, exploitation, not great, but it worked. It's what happened. And it has
I
been
see.
happening continuously. So,
It's history now.
yeah, it's history now. Now we move into Gen 3, which is pretty much the phase of everything is solidified. It's about all these boy bands and girl groups coming out. They're all releasing their own sound. I will admit, the beginning of Gen 3 was a bit of a rough start because Gen 2 kind of ended on a bad note. And
Oh.
you can actually kind of see that within EXO's debut. So the beginning of Gen 3, it was very I don't know if you remember 2012, but it was a really weird time for everybody. Uh
I
everybody thought.
remember the world's supposed to end
Yeah,
at
exactly.
that
Everybody thought the world
point.
was gonna end, and Korea's response to that was, well, let's bring in super soldiers and aliens, so whoop-de-doo. Uh,
Yeah.
and, make concepts off of that. Which I think, honestly, Gen 3 was the generation that empowered the idea of lore and having a story behind a group that is being released. So,
Mhm.
going back to the whole Gen 2 ending on like a really bad foot. So the reason why I say this is because there was a girl group called FX, which, by the way, they're great. Well, were great. They disbanded years ago, but they had a
Oh.
really unique sound.
Mhm.
They were amazing and honestly ahead of their time when it came to their music. A lot of
Ooh,
people
okay.
weren't that intrigued with them. So when FX had debuted and they had done their stuff for the first 2 years, everybody was kind of falling off the bandwagon. They didn't see a reason to keep supporting SM Entertainment, who were the company that FX came from, where Girls' Generation came from. SM at this
Mhm.
point are known as the company who produce legends, essentially. They produce these groups that just keep releasing banger after banger after banger. They just are known for the company who, get shit done, and they're pretty good at it. They're not great in terms of corporate, which once again we come back to the fact of what corporate is actually great. But, they know what they're doing, which crazy as it seems. So
Mhm.
in turn, because of what happens to FX, basically when EXO debuts 2 years after them, nobody is excited for this. Nobody is keen at all, to a point of where EXO is getting blatant hate on what we call a fan cafe, which is basically like a forum where people will just talk about things. This forum was made 6 months in advance to EXO's debut, and it was
Uh-huh.
just pure hate all over the charts. Literally just them getting angry at a bunch of dudes who, by the way, most of them were still teenagers as well. They hadn't even debuted yet,
Oh,
and
I see.
all of them were just getting all this hate. So then they debut, and everybody's like, yeah, whatever. And they only get like 10 people at their first fan meeting.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, so nobody
Aw,
was that
that's
keen
sad.
for them, which is why I say the beginning of Gen 3 was a bit rough for some groups. Some groups were having it great. Like BAP, which you wanna know?
Bap.
Yeah, you you wanna know
Oh,
what
thank you for the hydrate.
you wanna know what BAP means?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
It means best
What does it mean?
absolute perfect.
Oh my god. That's condescending.
Which, like I said to you before, a lot of groups have these acronyms, which we'll get to Teen Top later on down the line. That acronym is
Okay.
too long. Doesn't even make any sense. EXO doesn't even have an acronym. This is not an acronym at all. It's just exoplanet aliens that are running away
Based.
from the Red Force. Whatever that means. Tree of Life. There's 12 of them. What?
Jesus.
Nobody's getting
Aya,
this.
Aya is still trying to convince me to put them in our D&D campaign, but they have enough lore to do it. You just, you have enough. You have the lore to put them in there.
No, you know what's funny too is with their solo work as well, they still have lore. They never stop.
Damn. Damn, they like world building, huh?
Well, when you think about it, a couple of guys who were hated before they even got a chance, basically trying to convince even their own friends and family to be on board with this thing that
Aw, that's fair.
nobody is liking. Kind of like, yeah, you kind of gotta want to root for yourself because nobody else will. Nobody
Yeah,
else
no, that's fair.
was. So, yeah, that's kind of what they were doing. They had no other choice.
Good. No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
But yeah, so there's BAP, which by the way was technically the competition up against EXO. Nobody liked EXO, but everybody loved BAP, which is slightly going to be ironic down the line because BAP is part of a company that was absolutely heinous to them, and basically they fumbled the bag, and all of the members
Mm-hmm.
pretty much full on quit. They disbanded the group
Mm-hmm.
and they left because the company was abusing them essentially. And they weren't having it, which good for them for not sticking around and dealing with all that abuse anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which in turn, we see EXO basically come to a rise. Now, it didn't just happen overnight. Well, it kind of did, but also it's having to remind ourselves that EXO had to step away from the public for about a year before they actually came back with a comeback to prove to everybody that they were worth something. Now, this is when Wolf comes out, and
Okay.
in case you didn't know this, by the way,
Uh.
Wolf is obviously about EXO being wolves. So now the lore is that there are aliens who are wolves. Yeah. Yeah.
Ow!
Side
Maybe.
note for you, right? Just a little side note. The funniest thing that came out of Wolf is the fact that Omegaverse was popularized because of Wolf.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
And
I can't think of Wolverine now
that's just the
when I hear that
funniest
song.
thing ever. Because the song itself, kind of catchy, hilarious, just we always meme about Chanyeol in the beginning screaming out Chogiwa because I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just funny to us. But that's what kind of got people talking about them a little. Though people were
That
still
is hilarious.
on this verge of they're not really that great. And then Growl comes out about 3-4 months after Wolf. Now, Growl was a repackaged song. So, in the concept of the K-pop industry, you have
Uh-huh.
a mini album, which has roughly about 6 to 7 songs on it. It's mini because there isn't a lot on it. You have a album, like a standard studio album, which, you know, can have up to 10, 20 different songs on it. And then you
Mhm.
have the repackage for the previously mentioned studio album, which basically takes everything that was on that previous album, adds a couple more songs onto it, and it's been, quote unquote, repacked. So that's the whole point of a repackage.
I see. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So for EXO, their repack album for their previous album, which was called XOXO. This one's called XOXO Ururong, which Ururong means growl. Crazily enough, does super duper well. And it's simply because of the music video. The song was great, but the music video itself was what caught people's eyes because it was the first music video to be all done in one shot. That's why people loved it so much.
I see.
That itself, that one music video and the entire concept of it being done in all in one shot, and there are a couple of mistakes you do pick up in the music video, but they cover it up so well. There's a point in the music video for Kai where he accidentally drops his hat on the ground. And he doesn't bend down to pick it up and stop the choreography. He literally does a little like
Uh-huh.
twist to the ground, picks it up so slick, and then puts it back on. And it's crazy.
In the middle of the choreography. I
Yeah.
see.
And it looks super duper sleek. It looks like he did that on purpose. And everybody ate that up. It was so peak for its
Hell
time.
yeah.
So good.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so then we get from that point to EXO basically being one of the greatest boy bands of that time for like a consecutive 4 or 5 years. They were considered seniors by their
Mhm.
4th year. That's not common. You're senior when you get to like about 5,
Uh-huh.
6 years, and basically you're coming to what people would consider like the end of your career because you're getting old and you're about to head into the military. No, they were like legends at that point. Even deemed as such at all these award shows because they kept getting album of the year, they were getting all these day songs, which are like really big awards, and it was getting
Uh-huh.
crazy for them. Everybody wanted a piece of them.
Yeah.
It was wild. And that kind of, I guess, solidified what Gen 3 is to everybody, is that, yeah, it is the
I
phase of
see.
where
Okay.
it's the period of where BTS did come into the fray, and we do acknowledge that. But for the most part, for a lot of people who have been fans of K-pop for years now, remember it as this was the era of where like EXO dominated. Everybody loved them, and for good reason too. They are some of probably the nicest guys you'll ever meet. They are super, super nice. There's been nothing
Hey,
but
you're so nice, guys.
there's been nothing but praise for them all over the shop. There are so many people over the years who've tried to slander them, and every single time that happens, there's always a bunch of people on the internet, staff members who used to work with them and all that jazz, who always come to defend them because they're like, no, these are like the kindest guys I've ever met. Every single time we finish a photo shoot, we have people who just leave the set. They never leave. They always pack up with us and then shout us for dinner afterwards. And I'm like, who else does that?
That's actually cool.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody just all they have is praise for them. They have nothing else but praise for them. And it's like it goes to show just what kind of idols they are and what they represent. So much so to a point of where now, after being around for about 13 years, Chen, who's one of
Mhm.
the members who was also previously known, he's still known as the what do they call him? The There's a word for it. But basically, he's been asked for many years now to do the songs for a lot of K-dramas. So I think the biggest one that he was noted for years ago was a K-drama called It's Okay, That's Love, I think it was called. It's a whole K-drama about this guy who has this mental disability. Actually, a lot of mental disabilities get touched within this
Okay.
K-drama. This was when mental disability was like only just being brought up to the public and people were finally acknowledging that it was a real thing in Korea. He
Oh,
did
that's nice.
one of the probably most popular songs
Oh,
from that era in K-drama,
uh-huh.
and from thenceforth was like, what do you call it? There's a word for it. I'm trying to think of it. But he basically had this title for years, and they always asked him to do the songs for K-dramas for
Bailey?
years. No, there's I keep going back to the word OC. It's not OC. OST. Original soundtrack. That's what it is. They call him the
Oh, original
OST king.
soundtrack. Okay.
Yeah. They call him the OST king, and it's literally just because
The
his
OC King.
vocals. The OC king. Yeah, the original character king. They call him that because every single song he works
Huh?
on for K-dramas has always been popularized. Everybody loves his stuff, and he's just this really, really beautiful vocalist who also can sing in both ballad and rock. That's very rare for someone to be able to have that amount of range. So he's kind of crazy with it. And if we
I see.
I'll probably show you or even when we watch Exordium, there's a song that EXO released in Japan called Drop That, but they have a Korean version that they did as well. But it's a rock song, and when they perform it, you'll hear Chen. He's going off. That man, whew, vocals through the roof. He's actually so good at what he does. But so basically, he's on a show right now. I don't remember what it's called, but he's a judge on that show. He gives out a lot of good advice to a lot of the people who perform because he's been in the
Oh,
industry
that's
for
good.
years, and he's just really, really good at what he does. A lot of them are really, really good at what they do, and it's very, I guess, eye-opening to see somebody who's been in the industry for 13 years to actually give that kind of advice to you, and then for you to be able to actually take that to heart and, like, improve on what he said.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of
Mm-hmm. I see, I
crazy. He
see.
has very good points, and there's a reason why people respect him so much. But moving on to that kind of era, Gen 3 sets the standard. Moving on to Gen 4, which...
Wait,
What?
so Gen 3 is when it got popularized, basically. It became like
Pretty much, yeah.
the big thing. I see, I see. I see.
Yeah, so Gen 3 in some aspects is considered to be the standard. We move on to Gen 4, which I believe New Jeans is considered Gen 4. Gen 4 is a very weird generation. And apparently we're in Gen 5 now, which makes no sense because as far as we are aware, the generations should only proceed after roughly 10 years because Gen 1 happened for 10 years and then Gen 2 kind of happened for 10, 11 years as well.
Okay.
Gen 3 apparently only lasted until 2018, which doesn't make sense, but whatever. I don't get it.
But I guess
Yeah, I guess it is what it is.
it is. It is what it is.
Hi, Danaris!
Ooh, hello.
What are
Hello.
those songs? Look, it's just an expression. Feel free to express yourself.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we're moving on to Gen 4. And I'm gonna try and wrap it up here as quickly as possible. Hi,
Don't
Isa!
worry.
Hello! Thank you for the lurk!
Hi, Isa.
Moving on to Gen 4 is really weird. I think it's like New Jeans are the ones who kind of come into Gen 4. I don't even know what to call Gen 4 because a lot of people, when we got to Gen 4, everybody was mad. Everybody was pissed off. They were like, can we just go back to Gen 3? I'm sick and tired of all these, all of this lazy training and writing and it got worse by the time apparently we hit Gen 5. I don't know how we're in Gen 5, but apparently somebody had explained that the reason why we're in Gen 5 currently is because something happened. Like someone did something new, and that is how the generations are defined. But that makes no sense.
the rules for the generation seems a little bit inconsistent.
They are very inconsistent because we all get to Gen 3 and we're like, cool, we've already basically agreed that once we hit the 10-year mark, we're at Gen 4. Gen 4 began in 2018, apparently, and apparently Stray Kids is a Gen 4 group, though technically they should, in a sense, be considered Gen 3 because of all the... It makes no sense. We're all losing it.
I see. It's arbitrary rules.
It is
Love
very
those.
arbitrary, and it's not making a lot of sense, especially it gets worse every single year because there's newbies who are coming into the fray, who are constantly trying to change the rules and are acting like they've been here for the last 13 years. No, I have carried this industry on my back for the last 13 years. I have been bullied for it in school. Do not come for me. I will fight you.
It's all your fault, chat.
It is all your fault. It's all your fault. No. But yeah, so in summary, Gen 4 is what I thought we still were in. Apparently not. We've moved on to Gen 5. Apparently also people are saying simultaneously that we're in Gen 6. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of agreements and disagreements. I know. Okay. I'm just as confused as you are. I don't get it.
Okay. Chat. We come up with like an actual concrete set of rules for K-pop gens. That's what we should do. That's what we should do, chat.
I've been saying this for years. Just do it at the 10-year mark because that makes sense. That's what we did for the first 2 generations. So just keep it up that way. It makes sense that way. But no, everybody all of a sudden decides, no, we're going to change up the rules and we're in Gen 4 immediately in 2019. Bro, I barely remember 2019. 2020 happened and that's 3 years off my plate. I don't know what happened.
Right?
What do you mean? That makes no sense. But yeah, so apparently we're in Gen 5 right now. A lot of people would argue that we're in Gen 6. Don't know where that came from. Don't even know half of the groups that are out currently in Gen 5 and Gen 6. So if you feel lost, don't worry. We're all just as lost. We're all of us oldies who've been around for years are just as confused.
Exactly, chat.
It don't make a lot of sense. But to people who would like to try and get into it, I think the thing that always puts people off when it comes to the K-pop industry and just the music as a whole is the fandom. And that makes a lot of sense, but don't be alarmed. You can just be there for yourself just for like being a casual listener. That is perfectly fine. You don't have to be a giant fanatic about it. It's okay if you're not that deep into it. That doesn't make you less of a fan. You still have an interest in it, and also I would like to say you have a respect for it because a lot of people don't have a respect for it. I've had to put up with that kind of shit for years. So if you decide to get into it, props to you. Props to you. I have respect for you because holy crap, I have had to put up with this shit for years.
Good luck. Good luck.
And
that's
also,
what she's saying, chat.
I'm proud of you though, considering that it's the the survival shows that have kind of got you in a chokehold.
I was really surprised. Like I was watching them with Sugarberry. It's like, oh, okay. So the point of this show is that they have to outperform each other, basically, for a voting system.
Yeah.
And they get voted, and the best group like wins. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, oh, and then there's this performance where they are mixing a classical music with their song, and also the team is Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was the coolest shit I ever seen in my life. And I was like, and she was like, oh, and they didn't even win. I was like, what? Dude, this wasn't even the best one? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, they're out like they're out for blood. I was like, damn. Crazy.
It gets
crazy.
very crazy.
And I was actually really entertained. The one that they did where the team, I don't remember which group was, but it was a mix with flamenco, like the Argentinian flamenco,
Oh, yes, yes,
and it
yes.
was all thematic, and they had the dance, and I was like, oh my god, tango. I think it was tango actually, not flamenco. It was
Mhm.
tango. I was like, damn, they're really going for it. And they have like pyrotechnics, and they have props. They have stages that fall apart and change. I was like, holy shit, they really go hard in this industry. I
Mhm.
never seen a concert. Well, it wasn't even a concert. It was like a reality show thing. Really, really well done.
Okay, so I do have something that I do want to show you because I had intended to show this for ages,
Okay.
but I think it would be pretty
Okay.
crazy if there was like a VTubing version of this. So there's a show that
Okay.
came out in 2016 called Produce 101. And the whole concept of the show is all of these trainees from all these different companies that haven't debuted yet, they get put onto this show. And the final 9 who make it to the end of the show, they get to go under a contract for a year to basically, kind of be an idol early and
Mm-hmm.
actually get to experience what that's like before they go into their respective actual careers. So it kind of just shoves them into
Oh,
the
okay.
spotlight. But they did a Produce 48 version, which basically means that it's the same concept as Produce 101 has always been. However, Produce 48 is a mixture of trainees from Korean companies and members from AKB48. So this series was really dramatic because they were
Okay.
huge cultural shocks within 2 different industries because the K-pop industry has always been known for manufacturing and perfection, basically, to get it right. Whereas in Japan's music industry, it's just always been about like, oh, you don't have to be talented. You can just be pretty and cute and just have fun on stage and whatnot. Which
It
is
do be like that
yeah,
sometimes.
it's basically that. And it was a huge culture shock for a lot of the girls from AKB48 because obviously to them they haven't trained as rigorous as a lot of the girls from the Korean what is it? The Korean entertainment industry. They haven't had to
Mm-hmm.
go through all this intense training in dance and singing and being able to do all these things because that isn't really something that Japan focuses on. Granted, where Japan's focus is, I will admit, is not in the best of places considering it's 10-year-olds. But say la vie, whatever.
That being said, Celavi's crazy. Celavi's crazy.
But I do
Oh yeah, I
want to show you
started.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Move this
I was
over.
gonna. I was gonna say I started French on Duolingo because I need to learn French.
Wait, you need to learn French.
Yeah, because I'm going to go to France in a year or so
Wait, you
because
didn't
of my
tell me
doctorates.
this. I thought it was
Yes,
unconfirmed.
what?
You said that it was a
Oh no,
possibility. You didn't say it was
it was a.
happening.
It was a, yeah. I got a confirmation.
Oh
I'm
my
going on February
gosh!
2026 to France.
Ah! He's going to France.
I'm going to France, to Paris actually.
Crazy. Dude, let me know if you see a rat.
I probably will. I probably will, and they'll cook for me. It's gonna be great.
Es suanico, suamo, così volete.
I love that
Oh,
song.
I'm super keen for you. Oh my gosh.
You. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Okay, hold on. Let me go live for you so you can actually see it
Oh,
on
okay.
your
Let
end.
me show it. 1 second. Let me show it on the podcast.
Apologies, chat, if the frames drop. I don't control that. It's Discord being dumb dumb.
Yeah, let me just show my. Do I have? Where is monitor one? There you go. There you go. It worked.
Okay, so you ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so this, for context for everybody.
You're not showing anything.
No?
No, your capture is just showing your. Wait, actually, I'm stupid. I need to select the watch stream. 1 second. That's me. 1 second. Oh no, you're not streaming anything, are you?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Chat. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. There you go.
I was like, is he gaslighting me?
I was gaslighting myself. Go ahead.
So, for context, this is Produce 48's performance. They always do a performance for all the trainees for that season, basically. So this is
Mhm.
their song. They always call it "Pick Me." Don't ask why.
Because they're going to be picked up,
Pretty much.
obviously.
국민 프로듀서님들 반갑습니다.
National producer. Oh,
이번에 새롭게 국민 프로듀서 대표가 된 이승기입니다. 자, 여러분 이제 열일하실 준비 되셨나요? 그럼
okay.
6명의 소녀들을 만나보겠습니다.
Now imagine if we did this in the VTubing industry.
96. Okay. Holy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. How big is the stage? Holy shit.
It's pretty big.
Okay. So if they get it voted on, they get to basically form a group.
Yeah, for an entire year, they go under a contract. It's basically to allow them to experience the idol life before they're meant to experience it.
That's cool.
They actually also get to go to Mama, which is like the big music award ceremony at the end of the year.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So they have this one, they have Produce 101, which was the first season, and then Produce 101 Season 2, which was the boys season.
Oh, okay.
And now they do this in China.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
they do that in China. Do they do this in Japan? I feel like they should do this in Japan. I'm sure they do, right?
I don't know if Japan's music industry is built for this.
Really? I thought idol groups were like really big.
To this degree, I don't know.
Really? Okay. So Korea does have the head start on this.
Yeah. Which I guess this was kind of meant to introduce this idea to Japan, but I don't think Japan has actually done something like this yet.
I see.
And I think this would be too dramatic and too intense for them, honestly.
Yeah, could be. Also, I'm realizing a flaw in this design.
Yeah.
The girl on the front immediately gets like the spotlight. Why
Yeah.
a pyramid? That's a bad design.
Do you know who that is?
No?
That's
that a
Sakura from the Seraphim.
What?
Yeah.
Really? How old is this?
This, I think, hold on, pause for 2 seconds. 6 years ago. 2018.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Technical
Which-
engine is just like crazy. Dun dun dun. Oh god, sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hot take for everybody who doesn't know this. She hasn't exactly improved despite she's been in the music industry for 10 years. Not really a hot take. Everybody agrees with this. They don't really like
That's
to see her.
mean.
It's mean, but it's true because
It's
considering the
mean.
fact that she has been doing this for years, even while she was on
Mhm.
Produce 48, this is the tragedy
Mhm.
about Produce 48 that people figured out later on about the show is that it's rigged. Is that the finalists are some of them are
Oh,
really
they
like
were meant to be. I see.
yeah,
I
some
see.
of the finalists, it's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I get that you were supposed to be there. You were voted in there fair and square. But a lot of them were not voted in there and they made it to the end. Sakura was one of those many people. People didn't feel that she was improving enough and didn't feel that she was deserving of that spot. She made it into first place, and voila. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's piping hot tea.
that's I see.
Yeah, it's spicy. Yeah, moving on.
It's a cool idea though. A VTuber thing like this would be amazing.
It'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. Instead of auditions, they just throw everybody in there. That would be cool. But then you think about it, like how many VTubers audition to like a Hololive? How
That's
can they make
true.
right? There must be like on the thousands at this point.
I think if corporate introduced the concept of trainee, like the traineeship that they do in Korea, if they did that in the VTubing industry, oh my gosh.
Well, Niji Sanji does have the Niji Academy.
Yeah, but look how much good that's actually doing. Nothing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. They did stop it, then they brought it back, and I have no idea which like actual talents came from there. I don't think anybody came actually.
Well, the other
to
thing
check.
too is that these trainees had to audition to come onto the show anyway, so
Oh, okay.
this isn't even all 96 of them yet. So.
Damn.
Now it is.
Oh. Where did they? Okay. They were fast.
This song is very catchy though.
It is a very good sign. They are beautiful too.
They are. You see how she's in the dead center though?
I see. Yeah. She don't talk. Okay, that's actually okay. I can see bias being shown here.
Yeah.
I can see big bias. It's like, they're inducing the viewer to vote in a certain way.
Exactly.
That's crazy, chat. That's insane.
That's
Actually,
what I mean though. They do that kind of thing. They like manipulate the vote. And it's like, wait, nobody voted for this person. What the fuck? Why is this happening?
That's crazy if you think about
Yeah.
it.
They got caught out for
That
it
remi-
too one year, so
I really think, since we're talking about like VTuber reality shows,
Mhm.
I think it would be really cool if we had kind of a Survivor type series with VTubers,
that'd be so interesting.
right? But like, because you can't actually film them in an island or something. It's
Mhm.
basically like a forever stream
Mhm.
that they have to just stay live, and if they leave or like they have to do something, or I don't know the rule. They have to come up with rules. They like are eliminated or something like that. That would be cool.
That's a
That'd be
very much
cool.
like a see how long you can not touch grass kind of.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like a yeah. It's like a endurance type of.
That
of
would be
system.
interesting. Honestly, though, as a VTubing industry, I feel like there's more opportunity to invest in like these kinds of reality shows.
Mhm.
They just
Mhm.
don't. They just choose not
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
And it's like, but it's
Oh.
interesting. It's intriguing to watch.
it is exactly. I'm thinking about it. Oh, my brain is working. Okay, because like they had like the Rust event. Like I'm using Hololive as an example. They had the Rust event. It was really popular.
Mhm.
They could do that. They can have like, I don't know, 100 VTubers surviving on a Rust server, and the group, like, because gens, the generation, so like groups of 5.
Yeah.
and whatever group like comes out on top by the end of the season, like I don't know, gets to be Hololive's next gen or something like that. That would be amazing.
I actually
That would be
thought of
so fun
that.
to
That
watch.
would be so cool because it basically gets a lot of talents to crawl out from their shelves, like indie
Yeah.
VTubers to basically come out
Hmm.
audition for this thing because you have to audition first. So that is the case of like, okay, so you might have
Hmm.
potential to be on this show, and then fighting
Hmm.
your way to the top to have this opportunity to debut
Yeah.
for a year. That would be a crazy
Uh-huh.
notion.
Yeah, and even if you are like, even if you know don't win, you got well, quote unquote exposure for participating. People now saw your personality, and they might follow you in your India. You know?
Yeah. Like it's the whole point is to like, it's exposure pretty much. And like I
Yeah,
mean, I guess if you're undercover, perhaps they'll pay you like a regular employee. That's also another opportunity that could come out of it. You could end up
true.
going to HoloFest. You could
Oh,
participate in all these other different things that, you wouldn't be able to do as an indie. That's kind of the whole
hmm.
point.
Actually, it just came to me. VShojo should do that because one, VShojo has no problem with like past lives VTubers.
Mhm.
Secondly, VShojo sometimes gets on hot water because of their audition practices. This is a way to fix both things with one song. Oh my god, Gun Run Hire Me.
I'm a
Oh my
genius.
god, I'm a genius.
No, because they actually could. Because I
They
don't care what
could.
half of you think about the audition process. It's pretty shitty. Because don't come out here and say that, oh, but like we all have a chance. No, no one has equal chance. We've been there. You're being delusional if you think that that's the case. Number
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, you need, even though they open the auditions to everyone, of course they have minimum requirements,
Yeah.
for a talent. Yeah. Like the
Because,
new addition, like Monarch. Monarch is now part of
yeah.
Shoujo, and she said that her being debuted on Shoujo has been in the works for like a year and a half or something like that.
Mhm.
While auditions were going on. So yeah, no. And the problem is that's another thing that I think Shoujo really needs to actually have a little bit of more PR about it.
Mhm.
Because everybody was saying, okay, if it was going to be Monarch for a year and a half, why did you guys open auditions? And people were mad about it.
Yeah.
And Shoujo didn't actually talked about it, but then Zendaya herself said, basically alluded to, Monarch might not be the only one, just stay tuned for the future. So Vishoja really needs to work on their PR regarding auditions because they're not doing a good job. People are thinking it's only there's a name for that. I don't know the name in English, but like they're like a friends club. You only get in if you're friends. And yeah, people, they need a better PR actually.
No, they
Oh,
do.
pipe.
Like, it's just like I said, I don't care if you are of the opinion of no, just wait. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's
Hmm.
delusion. Literally look at the
Yes,
entire
literally.
lineup of people who are in V Shoujo. Which one of them is an absolute nobody who just suddenly became a somebody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Mhm.
But the problem is when you open auditions, because if Shoujo didn't have auditions, this wouldn't be a problem.
Mhm.
Because yeah, no, they're hiring, the big leagues. But if you open out auditions and everybody that comes in, it is a very seasoned VTuber that, of course, is not on the same level of everybody else that applied.
Yeah.
I can see why people would get frustrated about it. Yeah, at least be honest about it, or at least have a system where it's more transparent because people are really getting the wrong idea if it's not the case.
Yeah. I will
Nobody expects it by.
I will just say it here for the record.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make a random prediction out there, if V Shoujo decides to, I guess, induct somebody new, I'm willing to put a bet down that it's Sayu. I'm willing to put that bet down that it's gonna be Sayu.
Sayu synchronicity?
No, as in
No.
Sayu, Alejandro. Alejandro Saab.
Oh, Sayu with a C.
Yeah.
With a C. I see. Okay, I thought you were talking about Sayu synchronicity.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good addition. For the longest of time, who I was thinking was getting in. Who was the VTuber? I don't remember. The other big VTuber. And like I know people personally, that of course they're bigger than me, of course. But I know people personally that apply to VShojo and they're really distraught when they didn't move forward.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
yeah, it kind of feels really bad, if you're going to, because VShojo is already known as the elite club.
Yeah.
Like they only hire people with the big numbers. So like, what's the point of auditions at this point, right?
No, exactly.
That's actually what yeah. Unless and it's okay. Actually, to be honest, to be fair with them, they did release a Japanese gen. I still need to check them out. I don't know if they are popular like beforehand. Do you know that? Do you know if their new gen was?
No, but I
have
am
no
going
idea,
to have a
actually.
look at it right now.
That is fair. Because like I don't know if they did that for the Japanese, but the Japanese branch, but like for the Western branch, it's only big leagues. Like it's only big numbers that the moment you hear their voice, you know exactly who they were. And that's very telling, You can't just say, "Oh, it's an audition for us." Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong if they had no audition problem, right? If it is like a merit style, okay, I'm only going to go to the shoujo if I'm really big, and that's not a problem. It just need to be honest about
Yeah, just be straight up. Stop giving false hope to people. Like, there are people who genuinely want to be
Yes.
part of your company and who do have the talent to be there, but because they don't have the numbers, they're not in the big leagues, because they're not out here attending all these cons and being asked to do all of these things and all that jazz, that's a reason for you to overlook them? No. No. I feel very,
Exactly.
a little bit iffy about that. That's not kind of fair, so. But whatever, what do I know?
Exactly.
What do I know?
What do I know? What do I know? Exactly.
Apparently nothing.
You said you wanted to. Exactly. You said you wanted to end the podcast around this time, if I'm not mistaken, because you need to sleep.
Because me gotta go eat, even though it's not succumbing to me right now. Oh my gosh.
You do be like that. Don't worry.
Yeah, but yes, we should. We should
Yeah,
wrap it
I
up
think
here.
we went. I think for the next podcast, perfect. I think for the next podcast, what we could have, honestly, we could have like a bingo.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
I'm realizing, because I've been watching our past episodes, and there are things that are very common to happen. Like we should have a bingo space that says somehow they start talking about Nishi-Sanji again.
No, because I have been
Something
realizing that too.
like
We always go back onto it. Like, it's slander to the company. It's not slander to the talent.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, we could make a bingo card, and maybe next time we can also have another guest. You guys like when we bring guests? It's really cool.
Yeah. Bring some friends along, some new friends.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on. What's next week? Okay, next week is March.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
the
goodness.
end of the next week is March.
That's crazy. So, okay. Not next week.
Breathe, Macaron, breathe.
I'm fine. I'm calm.
Yay.
So,
Yay.
no, so I'm just thinking about this because I just realized something. Because we've organized our movie night. not for next week, but the week after. And I was like, wow, I'm gonna like see you twice in a week again. It's been a long time since we've done that.
Oh, true, true. That is true.
I'm
Ah, the
sick and tired of you,
humanity.
Corn. I'm tired of you.
She hates me, chat. She hates me, chat. Save me. Oh.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Let's do that, babe. No. It's fun hanging out with him. I love hanging out with him.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Hanging out with
With you, in that case.
my bestie.
Exactly, chat.
And
Exactly.
talking shit about things.
Yeah. Yeah. We're very toxic people, chat. You should know that.
Yes, we are very toxic people. No, we're not toxic. We're just well informed.
Exactly. Exactly.
We just get it. What do you know about this? What do you know about this?
Yes, chat. You would never understand. You would never understand, chat.
But no, this has been a very good episode. We always kind of leave it off on that note, honestly. Though it's always that way. It's always just some kind
It's
of
always like,
slander towards some company for doing something. Which honestly, that's what we should always be doing. I don't care if it ends up on the bingo card. We should always be doing
exactly.
that. A friendly reminder: we don't like corporate.
Well, just a little bit. If my
Okay.
Yoshi's in there.
Okay, let
just
me
a little
rephrase
bit.
that. We don't like corporate, but Corn has an exception to cover.
Yay!
Ay. Oh my god.
I have a bias. It's okay, chat. Don't worry about it.
I hope if one day cover does something absolutely heinous on Niji Sanji level.
Oh, don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it, but if I hope you uphold your standards. I hope.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
You don't sound
absolutely.
confident.
No, I'm not doing the thing I do. I'm being honest, actually. Yeah,
Of course.
Because no. Yeah, I do that all the time. But no, I'm being genuine. I'm being genuine this time. Because it's like when they did, like when Fauna left. There was a little bit of a controversy because people were saying, okay, why did she left? Because people were telling, oh, she doesn't like the idol culture stuff. But then she said on her graduation that she loves doing, singing and dancing and performing. She just has a problem with how management is doing things.
Wop wop. Not looking too good.
That caused a little bit of a ruckus in the paradise that was Hololive community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Yeah. I'll leave.
And on that note, we will leave it there today, guys. We will leave it there today.
Exactly, chat.
Thank you all for joining.
Do you have? Thank you for watching.
Your mom. That's my closing.
Based. Honestly, based.
Oh,
do you have anybody that you want to? You're fine. Do you have anybody you want to raid?
Let's go raid Tama Haruyama.
Absolutely. I don't think I follow them. Can you send me their name?
Yes. Give me a second. Where are you? There you are. Tama Haruyama. I like their name.
That's a pretty cool name.
No, they are
doing... Very catchy name.
They're doing Cookie Run! I haven't seen Cookie Run in a long time.
Okay, let me set up the raid. I don't even know what that is. What's Cookie Run?
Oh. Cookie run is... I can't even actually explain it. It's just cookies running. That's mostly what it is. It's just
Okay.
cookies running.
Oh, I guess very self-explanatory, I
Pretty
guess.
much. But thank you everybody for joining
Yeah.
us. And we will see you not next week, the week after. Possibly with a bingo card.
Yes. Thank you
Maybe.
guys for coming. Possibly with a bingo card. Yeah, we should make a bingo card. It's gonna be actually fun if we do that.
Maybe hopefully next time as well we'll actually spin the wheel.
Yes. Even if it's just for fun.
Yeah. It's just we're just yapping.
Because we should do that.
Everyone's been new.
We
We're just giant
are just big
yappers.
yappers, chat. You're right.
But yes, thank you everybody for joining us.
Why is my Twitch crashing? Yay! Yes, thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.